Oh, hello. Recording in progress.
Thank you.
We're
Siri.
live. We are live.
Yeah, and when you come up on the screen, it had me in a little, like just when you have a video chat with somebody on WhatsApp or something, it just had me really small. But yeah.
I've got you big on my screen. That looks sick.
It's cool, isn't it? The blue doesn't really show up on the old sweatshirt, but
doesn't, does it?
In real life.
Not on the screen. I guess it does in real life.
Yeah. So I've had a request for a green one. And then somebody was asking for a bright pink one with white. But I don't know how serious they were, because when I said yeah, they sort of didn't really then do anything with that. Like, oh,
I think it could be pretty cool.
Might be better with it. Might be better in a t-shirt. And I was like, yeah, I can do t-shirt.
And they're like, pink with black could be cool. I don't probably
white. Depends on the pink and the black.
Yeah. Yes, you're right. It does, doesn't it? Because if you went for like a pastel pink, maybe you could get away with the white. And then if you had a super bright pink, you probably want the black, wouldn't you? Or you could go super Clash style and do like pink
on puke,
maybe with like turquoise or something like that.
That's my problem, is I don't know what goes and what doesn't.
It doesn't matter, dude. You just do what you want.
Anything goes.
That's how we roll.
Can you hear the guy with the strimmer in the background? No, good. Just me then. That's nice.
Just you.
Nice.
I haven't got the clockwork orange guy on his tricycle going past today either, so that's good. There is no squeaking.
Cool. Funny. Yeah, I ain't got much to tell you. I started to write a little list up.
Yeah.
There's not too much been going on.
Tell me about your snacks. How about that?
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. The normal thing is getting to day 3 of breaking the habit. That's the tricky bit. And
just day 3 for you, fine. Is it? I'm like, I need more days than that.
No.
I need like 2 weeks.
Day 1, I'm like, snacks.
Give me them snacks. What about them snacks?
Hey, you got any snacks over there? So yeah, day 1, I had to occupy myself. I had to train until like the snack cut off, which is like 9:45. Then I'm thinking that's just too late to eat snacks now. So
okay, you can actually rationalize the lateness.
Yeah,
I'd
day
just
1.
Be in there with the snacks. I'll be like, wow, if there's snacks, then there's snack.
Yeah, and I didn't have. Well, no, I did have some stuff in the house actually, just a couple of like grenade bars and things like that. So nothing yogurty. I was just going to yogurts. I was like yogurts and grenade bars, and it was funny because Claire was like looking at me one night when I had these yogurts on the side, and she goes, "Are you having both of those yogurts?" I'm like, yeah, I am. And that's when I knew.
Yes,
that's when I knew
it was too much.
Yeah,
he got out of hand snack action.
That's fine. No real like drastic difference. I just felt a little bit sludgier in the evenings, and it's just a bad habit. I think it's just no, from eating the snacks. It was just a bad habit. I think just got into.
Not bad snacks though, were they? They weren't like
no,
like a vodka snack or a pizza snack. Then you'd be in trouble.
No, it's nowhere near that.
Be careful with that water.
I know.
Be careful with it.
Well, part of this, part of the snack pact, the snack attack pack. So a friend of mine messaged me after listening to the podcast, and they said, "Oh, I need to do something like that." Like, because you said, right, I'm going to train, and I said, "Yeah, no evening sugary snacks," and they said, "Oh, I need to do something like that." And I was like, "Right, okay, let's go for it then." Cut the sugary snacks out and just drink 3 liters of water a day for the next 10 days. So we'll do it together. And they're like, okay. And then like they're like 3 or 4 days in now, and they're like, oh, I feel loads better.
Yeah, man. It really helped me as well, to be honest. I don't really struggle that much with that accountability thing. But what I did do was, I was like, okay, so first day was fine. Yeah, so day 1 was cool. Day 2, I trained in the morning. Day 3, the Wednesday, I think I had to be out early, and there just wasn't enough time to deal with it, because on day 2 I was out late, and then on the Wednesday I had to get up super early. So when I came back, I literally was just like, wow, I haven't got time, because I'm trying to prioritize going to sleep. So like got back late, thought I'll just go for a walk. So I just put my weighted vest on and went for a walk because I'd already done 2 days and I've got to get 5 out of the 7. So I went for a weighted vest walk. That was fine. Then had Thursday completely. Did I train? No, I trained Thursday, trained legs on Thursday, had Friday completely off, and then did Saturday, Sunday. But in my mind, I was thinking, man, if I don't do this now, and I've got to come on here and tell you after saying yes, I will do it, and I didn't do it. So I was like, well, that's not happening. So that was really good for me. It was really good. So we should do that every week. That'll be cool.
Yeah, well, it just takes a little push. Sometimes you just need a little.
It's not even a push. It's just like I'm just thinking, well, I can't
little nag
go on there now and just go like. And if you ask me, I can't then lie and say, yeah, I trained every day. So did you do it then? Yeah, I did it. I'm like, man, you can't do that. So you have to do it then. So that was good. That was really good. So that was, I think that's the first week starting again now with that Juggernaut AI, which is really cool, that app. But on the power building program, I'm not super sold on the power building so far. Because I like to do those like power lifting type blocks of training with some more weight on. But the first week in this Juggernaut is always really light. Even in the power lifting one, it's really light. So this was like super light because it was only a couple of sets of bench in the bench day, a couple of sets of overhead press in the overhead press day, and a couple of sets of squats, a couple of deadlift. But then there's lots of assistance on top of that, like 4 or 5 assistant exercises with like 3 to 4 sets and some more reps. So that's quite different to what I've done before. But at the moment, it feels good because it's not too stressful on my hip or anything. The worst thing at the moment for my hip is squatting, like in the bottom of a squat. I can just feel that all the attachment and everything from my hamstring, I think it's like my hamstring to my hip or my glute to my hip, is just sore right at the bottom of the squat. But I can feel it start to work at least, which is cool. So I'm only squatting at the moment with like 60 kilos, but at least I'm squatting. So that's cool. So that'll come back. So now get on it again.
Yeah.
Not necessarily every day, but hit these 5 days in a week, and that's a decent chunk of training. Later on, I'm going to go down to the little place that I put in the that I do the conditioning at with the bars for one of the guys who's really into his snowboarding. We're going to go and just do a bit of mobility and maybe a bit of yoga or something like that later.
Get the go wad on.
Stretch him off. Yeah, so that'd be cool. I'm not doing the go wad anymore, but just like yoga stuff. I just grab it off YouTube. Like yoga.
We got another Pact coming up.
For the yoga or for the mobility, yeah. Good. What I need to do though is just like those 2 blocks. I really like from the 75 hard that you do 2 blocks of training, but the timing was just weird and didn't really fit with what I actually do, because you have to do these like 1 45 minutes and then another 45 minutes. I think we talk about this before? I don't think so. My first 45 minutes was never 45 minutes. It was always like an hour and a half, and then I would have to do another 45 minutes. So I'd end up doing like nearly 2.5 hours worth of training every day.
Yeah.
So that was a bit of a time suck, whereas I could do an hour and a half and then do 15 minutes or 20 minutes or whatever of mobility, and that works a lot better.
Yeah, it didn't work.
And just concentrate on getting sleep and stuff. Yeah.
With that 45 minutes either, because I was like, right, what can I do in 45 minutes? And I was trying to do it in 45 minutes. I was like, well, I know I'm going to train for like an hour to an hour and a half. I do powerlifting stuff, but then the next thing I do for 45 minutes, well, maybe I don't really want to go flat out for 45 minutes on a conditioning thing. So I'd do like, 15 minutes of warm up, and then maybe, 20 minutes of whatever, and then 10 minutes of cool down, or just go for a 45-minute walk. And I thought, well, I'm not really pushing what I'd normally do. I'd normally train more than when I was on that 75 hard. It just didn't really do it for me.
But you were already on it though, weren't you? That was the thing. Like in general,
it was a wrong time to do it, really.
Well, not. Yeah, I suppose wrong time to do it because you didn't really need it, did you? Like as well being at home. So I think the whole point of it is to basically focus on that, isn't it? So if you train for an hour and a half, the point is, okay, just stop that for this period, isn't it? And you do this block of training in the morning, the block of training in the evening. It's supposed to be awkward. It's not supposed to be straightforward for you to do, is it? But you get into this routine of basically like knocking off those tasks. That's the idea of it, rather than it being this sort of challenge. It's supposed to be a way to then structure your time to make sure you get through everything. But I think you already had that down, didn't you? Even with the amount of training you were doing before, like your day is pretty structured, so you didn't really need to do it, did you?
No.
And for me, I'm just like too stubborn to make it work properly. Like what I should have done was just got all my time together and knocked everything out. But instead, I was still trying to do everything else. And I get to the end of the day and I hadn't done my 45 minutes, and it'd be like midnight, and I'd be like, okay, better go out and do my 45 minutes, and did that for like 73 days. So, never mind.
With your squats, are your legs starting to come back a bit now? Then,
yeah, my right leg has come back pretty fun. For 3 or 4 weeks, it was fine, and then probably week 5 or week 6 into it, all of a sudden it just like disappeared. Like my right leg just disappeared, but it started to come back quite quick. And the power building program is quite cool because it's got, you can pick the different exercises. So I've picked quite a lot of single leg stuff. So today I had dumbbell Romanian deadlift, which is focused on one leg and then the other leg, and then single leg calf raise, which I need to do as well. So I went through that whole loop of like building my calf back up from the last time, didn't I, from last year? So that's good. Lunges as well I put in there. So today I think it was deficit deadlift, but just light. So just like 70 kilos deficit deadlift, a couple of sets of squats, just normal competition squats, but only with 60 kilos, and then into all this single leg work, and also some hanging leg raises, some banded good mornings. So it's like the movements that the physio is telling me to do, I basically group them into the training for that. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then I'll go back to obviously day 1 tomorrow, and the day 1 is like an upper body day with military press, and day 2 is a bench day, 3 is legs, back to bench, and then 5 is legs. I did today.
Yeah, cool.
So it's cool. It's good. It's very good. It's really good, that app. It's really cool.
Yeah. I posted a video on the page of me doing my deadlifts, my 531 deadlifts at CrossFit Great Yarmouth. And there's a guy over in Germany commented on it and said, how'd you get so strong on those legs?
That's the chicken power.
I was like, joke's on you. I'm not that strong.
Yeah. All fooling you. They're bumper plates. He's a lump, that guy. This Mark.
Yeah, the Nürburgring guy. Yeah, he's funny. Yeah.
It's quite funny, actually, because a small world, because he, I don't know him personally, but I was looking at his page. So I think he works for Rent for Ring, which is R4R. So they rent cars for people to drive around the Nürburgring. And I think the guy who runs Rent for Ring is a guy called Dale, who used to work for performance bikes in the UK back in the day. Do you remember I had those stacks and stacks of magazines? He works for performance bikes. And there's another connection from there, which I think Chris maybe knows him, who we sponsor with the gear, with the Bike World channel. I think Chris knows him as well. Yeah. Super small world. But he's I'm not sure if Mark is a mechanic for Red for Ring, where he owns the place or what, but Dale works as well, and he's like a Nürburgring racer and Nürburgring taxi. Have you seen the Nürburgring taxi stuff?
No.
They go like sending it around. You know what Nürburgring is?
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically like I think at the moment it's closed to the public, but it was a public road, and then they used to run races there. Now you can go and pay basically a ticket to drive around it. And I think it's 14 miles long, and there's so many hundreds of corners, I think, in it. And you basically can rent a car from them to go and drive around it, or they take you around it in this Nürburgring taxi and just send you. And they've got some weapon cars there. Really cool stuff. Really cool. So I'd like to go there one. I've never been, because you can ride your bike around there as well.
In real life, we've obviously smashed it in Gran Turismo a few thousand
times.
I
have done a few laps around there in Gran Turismo. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I've sent it around. But that's a hard track, man. Gran Turismo, super.
I was watching a Craig Ritchie video, Team Ritchie on YouTube, and he's bought this Transporter, VW Transporter, brand new, and he's getting it done by Transporter HQ, which is a company that obviously does that kind of work. And they are going to break this. I can't remember what record it is, but basically they're looking to break the Nürburgring, a Nürburgring record by putting 2 Tesla motors in a transporter.
Okay.
And he said it's going to be the most uncomfortable transporter on the planet, but they're just sticking a roll cage in it and they're putting 2 Tesla motors in it and they're just going to send it around.
In his
not
transport?
in his, the guy that owns the Transport HQ.
Yeah.
He's doing it as a project. Yeah. He's got a cool YouTube channel as well. It's Transport HQ. It's quite cool.
Yeah, man. I love those transporters. Awesome.
Yeah.
Because Chris has got a really nice one. Chris has got a really nice transporter from Van and Combi. They do some really cool lease deals, and his is sweet. I think he's got a 4-wheel drive. I don't know the model, but some awesome amount of horsepower transport. It's a van, I think, but you can get them with the seats and everything in the back, and then you can pull the seats out, put your stuff in alongside the seats, and still run it with 3 or 4 people.
Yeah, I see him. He posts every now and again of his van, like all different stuff he gets up to, and he's like got one shot of where he's just driven. He's put a ramp into the side door, and he's just driven like a quad bike into it. He's just parked quad bike in the van. It's like, yep.
He's got a really cool place there with loads of farm kit and stuff where he used to. I think he's got the quad bike and then all sorts of little bikes, and he's with the bike world. They have various bits and pieces of it to test. Yeah, it's cool stuff. So he needs the van, but he's got a really cool van. Really
and cool. I don't know what I was going to ask you. I was just flicking through Instagram a little while ago, as I do, and on there popped up electric motorbikes by. Trying to remember the name of the company now, and it's gone off my head. But whilst I'm looking at that, Zero.
Yep. It's a real company.
It's a real company called Zero, and they were advertising these bikes that are equivalent, like they're 11 kilowatts or something like this, which is equivalent to like a 125 sort of power wise. And they're saying that in some places, depending on license categories, you don't need a bike license because it's just the way it works. It's just based on some sort of power output. Like you don't need you can drive it on an A1 or a B category license depending on the bike that you get. So it's like trying to make electric motorcycles more accessible to people. And I
think it's probably
and I thought, fuck, that's dangerous. That's a really it sounds like a really bad idea. But but
you can do that now, or at least you could with a full car license. You can ride a 125 on a CBT, no? It's just a day's training. You don't need a full motorcycle license.
Yeah.
So I think it's the equivalent of that, basically.
Okay.
I'm not really really close to the electric stuff. Obviously, I'm aware of it, but I'm not super close to all the legislation. But I think it's the equivalent of that. So when you are coming up and you want to start riding motorcycles, you can start with a moped. And there's some electric bikes which are the equivalent to that. So I think it's all basically on power. So if 11 kilowatt is equivalent to a 125, it's like you could go and get your 125.
Yeah.
Combustion engine bike and ride that on your car license.
Yeah.
But you do need, I'm pretty sure you still need to do a CVT, at least in the UK.
You'd think so. You'd hope so anyway.
So,
if you can't ride an electric scooter, then you shouldn't be able to have a motorbike, really.
Yeah. The electric motorbike, though, doesn't have gears or a clutch or anything. One of those, yes. So it's not really that different. There will be at some point, and I think some of them do have gears, but the 125 stuff normally has like a power mode or something like that you can switch between, but it's not like another controller that you'd have to learn to use, really. You actually have to learn to use the clutch and learn to use the gearbox. So yeah, they're just twist and go. So it's the equivalent of a scooter. It's not any more complex to ride than a scooter. Probably a bit easier to ride than a scooter because normally the wheels are a little bit bigger, so it's a little bit more stable. Yeah. But electric stuff is still developing quite fast. They're still quite a long way behind internal combustion engine bikes with regards to dynamics and geometry and this sort of thing, and they behave in a little bit different way to combustion engine bikes. So one of my friends has got one of the guys with the garage has got an electric motocross bike, and it's really quite a different experience because you can hear and feel the traction in a really different way because there's no engine noise. You just have this turbine noise, and the bike feels quite heavy at a standstill because they weigh a bit more than a normal motocross bike. But once you're moving, there's no motor inertia, so they turn really fast. and you can feel everything at the back wheel. So it almost feels like you have a flat tire. It's really quite an interesting feeling when you're riding.
There's less vibrations and rumbles from the actual.
Yeah, it's just different.
Itself,
just quite a different feeling. Yeah,
connect it a bit more.
Really interesting to ride one. Yeah. So yeah, it just feels like you've got that different connection to the tire. Obviously, it then all depends on how the drivetrain works and the response from the throttle and everything. But yeah, you can really get a different feeling from the tire.
I thought it'd be quite good for me, because when I need to get up at 5:45 and go to the CrossFit for the 6:30 class, I always really ninja stealth it out the house. And then I try not to wake anybody up, try not to make any noise, and brushing my teeth with my mouth closed, kind of that sort of action, and creeping around the place. And then I open the door, get outside, and then I obviously have to start my Skoda Superb diesel. And I thought, well, actually, if I had an electric motorbike, I'd just turn it on and that would just go.
Yep.
Wouldn't even need to open any doors. An electric car would be good.
No doors? Where would you put the motorbike?
Well, no. Yeah.
Open the garage door. Yeah. What you could look at, which is cool, which is the thing with electric motorcycles right now, they're quite expensive still.
Yeah.
What you can get for a reasonable price is electric bicycles. And they're fun. They're really fun. And you can get some quite nice discounts. A friend of mine got quite a big discount on I can't remember the actual model, but a GT, which have started to come back again. The GT brand has started to come back again. It was really popular when we pushed bikes originally, way back in the day. Yeah, you had a cool GT, didn't you?
Yeah.
And they sort of went a little bit downhill, and now they've started to come back. They're doing some cool stuff in downhill world championships, and they do some electric models. And she got an electric GT enduro bike for about, I think it's about $2,500, something like that. But yeah, which sounds a lot of money, but when you think about how much, and compared to what they are normally, and compared to an electric scooter, and compared to an electric motorcycle, then it's actually really quite reasonable. And they assist to 25 kilometers an hour. So if we're doing a little trip like that to the CrossFit box, would be pretty cool, because you pedal, but you can get the thing to go to 25 really quite quickly. And then you just maintain it there. If you try and go over 25, then it cuts the assistance and you've got to pedal then.
Yeah.
It's actually really surprised me at how efficient it feels to pedal, because I've got a couple of enduro bikes, and because of the way they're set up, they're getting better and better, but because of the way they're set up, the more extreme ones are quite inefficient to pedal just because of where you are in relation to the pedals. But this felt really good. Like, even with the motor off to pedal, it felt like a lot of the energy was actually driving the thing forwards, not getting lost in the suspension or through the geometry or where you are sat on the seat. So that could be a cool option.
And then did you try and de-restrict it so it could go up to 50 kilometers an hour?
Well, maybe you can do that. Well, yeah, you can do that. You split the speed signal restricts it, so you can then do various things with the speed signal.
Yeah,
make it think that it's not
make it go away.
Yeah, basically. The other cool thing with that is if Claire wanted to ride the bike, because she's about the same height as you, she could get the same size bike. So then you could go riding mountain bike together, because you've got your cross country one, and then you could use that bike to go to the gym.
Yeah. And then when I got tired, I could get a little bungee, and I could bungee me to the back of her bike.
Yeah. Have you seen? Probably not. They do a bungee system, like a proper bungee system for kids, because now there's so many people have electric bikes. What they've started to do is this bungee system that hooks on the back of the adult electric bike, and then because there's not really any kids electric bikes yet, and then you can tow the kids up the hills. Pretty cool. You could tow anybody up the hill. She could tow you up the hill. I'll give you a little bit of an assist.
Yeah.
Pretty sick.
Yeah.
Worth a look.
Yeah. Something else to spank some money on. Something else to obsess about.
Cash on. Yeah.
I'm obsessing with CBD oils and like massage scraping tools at the minute. You know, those like sort of get those blunt metal sort of blade things. I'm just looking at those. A lot of people
are kind of
talking about that.
CBD not so much, because it's quite expensive, isn't it? But I suppose at least a metal scraping tool.
Oh yeah, like a 10 quid, something like that.
Yeah, it's not so bad to be obsessed. The problem that I have is that doesn't really enter on my radar. I'm like obsessed with buying a super bike or something like that, which I can't justify to have.
Well, I've already done it. I've already done a biggish spend on the hyper, on the reverse hyper.
Where is it?
Where's that place? Wherever it came over on the boat.
Stanford La Hope.
Stanford La Hope, yeah.
I wasn't on a boat though, was it? I wasn't on a boat for sure, because it was between Belgium and Stanford La Hope was like 6 hours. So it must have been on a plane, surely.
Speedboat. I don't know.
It's boat. Yeah, can't be.
So hopefully that'll be here on Monday. We shall see. Because that's every day. That's when I got that text on Tuesday. It'll be here tomorrow, 9 till 12. I was like, oh, sweet. Check it the next day. It'll be here tomorrow, 9 till 12. Oh, sweet. Check it the next day. It'll be here tomorrow, 9 till 12. No, I want to fucking go out, actually.
Welcome to Groundhog Day.
So, sorry.
And every day that goes by that you don't have it in your possession is another day where you aren't turbocharging your hamstrings and lower back.
Yeah, well, I've waited 37 years, so I can wait another week.
That's true.
That's what I thought. Yeah. And then once I get it, I then have to do an unboxing video and stuff, and that's just something else to do. And I'm like, well, I'll get there. But I was talking to Sam, the guy who bought one. So he's got the garage gym in not too far from me, and he bought one, and he said he put it together. It was like 10 minutes. And he said he really liked it. And I think Phil is getting one as well. So there's going to be like 3 within a 3-mile radius.
It's quite some concentration of reverse hypers.
Yeah, that is.
I'd like to see that bad boy. I'm not going to be able to squeeze one in. That's probably my exciting news for the week, is trying to work out this new little setup in the Moto garage. That'll be pretty sick, but I won't have room to squeeze a reverse hyper in there for sure. It'll be
it folds up, right?
It's going to be tight, man. I think
48 kilos. Hang it on a wall.
Squeeze it in there, can we? See how
stick it on the back of the door.
There's a garage door. Yeah, I could put it on the back of the garage door. Does such a thing as a folding non-wall mounted rack exist?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay.
So I was talking to you about last time when you made a little list of things. So you can get them from Muscle Squad.
Oh, they're
from Bulldog Gear. You can get them from Primal Strength. You can get them direct from Alibaba if you want to buy 10.
Okay. Alibaba times 10.
And I was talking to Jack Wolverson Fitness about them, because I just talked to him about my ergs and things and garage gyms. And
has he got big feet then? How does it work? How does it not require anything to be mounted to and still stay upright if you then fold it up? It must not fold completely flat. No, it must fold.
It doesn't fold entirely on itself. So it's got like a solid back section, and then the sides come out. So the sides will fold like that. So you've still got like this much.
It's like a little rectangle.
Yeah, so it folds into a rectangle on itself.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is interesting.
Fold out, and then you hook the pull-up bar and pin it up the top, and then away you go.
And that's it, is it?
Yeah, the pull-up bar is what locks it all together. And it's some of them have got like pull pins in the corners. So where the actual joint is, you would pull the pin, and then it be able to unlock and things. There's a couple of pins that you pull and stuff unlocks into place.
Let's give you the answer.
Yeah, the Muscle Squad one has got all the attachments on it. It's got like dip bars, lat pull down, catch bars, J hooks. It basically like a fully functioning everything you need, pretty much, like landmine, all that kind of stuff. And it's something like 700.
Okay. Not too bad.
Yeah. And I commented on a guy on Instagram. He had one set up in his gym. I can't remember the guy's name now, but because his gym was really nicely kitted out, his garage gym, and he had it all black with like the nice blue lights, and everything else was black. And this Muscle Squad black rig was in there, man. It looked fucking sick. It looked so good.
Super sick.
It looked really good.
Sounds cool.
But I would have to have somewhere to put all the attachments. So I'd have to put all the attachments like on the wall, and I wouldn't use the attachments. Like I wouldn't use the landmine row, I wouldn't use the lat pull down really, because I want to be in and out. I don't want to be like do a deadlift session and then do like a bodybuilding session. I'm not really into that right now. So if I could do like a stripped down version of it for like 400. I'll be into that.
Have a look. See if our tame engineer can put something together. Be interesting, especially for you, because then you can test it.
Yeah, so that'd be cool.
See if it works.
But yeah, they exist. There's more and more coming along. Nice.
Do they all look the same?
Similar. Bulldog one looks nicest, I'd say. Okay. Yeah, really nice. But that's 1,200 without the lat pull down, and 1,500 with a lat pull down.
Wow.
But it's got like all the where you can mount your bumpers on the side, and
that's cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
That's useful.
Because that's the thing about this one. Yeah, because I've mounted mine on the side of my cage. So if I didn't have with a folding wall mounted one, I'd have to then get another storage solution for the bumpers and like stack them up or something again. Then it's more floor space, or get some table legs and stick them on the wall. Like people do.
Yeah, I haven't got anything to put my plates on. I've just got them stacked in little rows.
Yeah,
on the floor. But that rack I've got is just ridiculous for footprint, considering what it is. It's like, I think it's 1.3 meters deep, but that doesn't cover the bench. So the thing is basically going to be as deep as the bench is. However, wherever you need to position the bench, that's going to drive the depth of it back to the wall. And then width, it's super wide, but you're never going to be as wide as the bar. Right? And the bar, you need basically like 2.8 meters.
Yeah,
we have to actually put some plates on the end of it.
Yeah.
So, but the footprint for what you get out of it, because it literally is just a rack.
Yeah.
And then I can put my second bar on the top of it to do pull-ups and stuff like that. But
yeah,
it's not the most efficient of things. It would be nice to have a cage with the what are they called, spot bars, catch bars.
Catch bars, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool to have. Yeah, just be a bit more useful than this thing. This monster thing. Or just get some squat stands was the other thing I was thinking. I would just get some squat stands.
Yeah, that's a good option.
Because I haven't got any catch bars now. And the squat stands are pretty reasonable. They used to be, didn't they? They used to be like a couple of £100 or something, didn't they?
Yeah, I think you can still get similar sort of price for that kind of stuff. Aaron swapped his cage out for some squat stands because he wanted a bit more room, and I think he got some.
He swapped his cage for a squat stand.
Yeah.
He
didn't swap them. He sold his stuff, and then he bought new stuff.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But he bought everything. I thought he bought a whole new setup.
Yeah, well, he had a rack and bars just before lockdown, like a month or two before lockdown. He bought a whole stack of stuff off somebody off Gumtree for which is the equivalent of nothing now. They might as well have just given it to him compared to what it was worth now. And then he's upgraded since then. So he's got squat stands which he preferred, and I'm sure he's benching off those as well. That's what I was thinking, that I would bench off those. Some of the squat stands, you get catch bars on the squat stands, don't you? Yeah. But they don't go low enough to bench off. Yeah, you have to make sure you can bench out of the top of the squat stand, but normally the catch bars don't go low enough. Yeah. Well, my little one, my extendable, my original one that's sort of telescopic and folds up, which I lent to Matt from CrossFit. He's using that, and because I just wasn't ever using it. I'd only ever use it now if I was going to do something on the driveway, like just for overhead stuff. Press or whatever. Yeah, but you can't use that for bench. That just didn't work. Not just from how it was set up with the catch bars and stuff. What did we do before though? That was what you had in the shed gym, wasn't it? Did we not bench out of that? Yeah, it was awful. Was it? Yeah. Don't remember. Yeah. Well, it's okay. This rack otherwise okay. It's fine to bench out if you can't do any spotting of yourself in it. Basically, you just make it or die. Yeah, it's good incentive. That's fine. Yeah, to make sure you make it. Yeah. Speaking of dying, I have just got through 3's week, so week 2 of a new block, and I've failed the overhead press on that one again, so that's good. So definitely need to reset on my overhead press. What are you doing with overhead press? It's like nothing, yeah? What am I doing? Yeah. Well, I'm doing 40 kilos on my overhead press. It's up to 55 now. 55 strict.
Cool.
Yeah, so I got a 55 for 2 when it should have been 3 or more, which is irritating. It
There
was one of those ones where I got the
we
second one up and I thought I'm going to get like a hernia from doing this.
We had this with you before, didn't we, on some things, and you were just like really close to the limit all the time on the top sets, weren't you? So you could tweak that one and do some more reps instead. Just like forget the 5-3-1 part of it, because that's going a bit slow, and just do a bit more. Yeah, just do some more reps. Just do like it's traditional, like 3 sets of 10, and do some. You could even do some dumbbell stuff with it, and just build that up. Because the problem is when you're like working in that strength zone, you actually need to build the muscle as well, don't you? So if you're always in that strength zone, you can only do so much with the muscle that you have.
Yeah.
So if you got to then build it, haven't you, to then make it work, basically. So you build it up again, and then you train it to be strong, and then you get to the limit of the strength that you've got, and then you build it up again, and then you train it to be strong, and so on. So you could try that. Throw something together for you for the overhead press.
Yeah, don't spend any time on it.
You're not going to do it. No. You'll just continue.
I'll just do what I'm doing.
Away at yourself.
Yeah, do what I'm doing.
No, I'd try some more reps. I would.
Yeah, I think I was toying with the idea of just not doing any of it for a bit, like any of it, and just doing conditioning stuff. Just giving myself a little break. But I've got
no powerlifting at all.
Yeah, just have a little break from it. Well, I've got a holiday coming up soon, so
yeah, why not? It's going pretty well. Might as well chuckle that in a bit.
Yeah.
Start.
I think the reason I was thinking that, because it was this week, I was like, fuck, this is hard.
Yeah,
this is super duper hard. Like I did, my bench was 99 kilos for 3. My squat was 141 for 3.
Yeah, squat's going on.
And my deadlift was 168 for 5. So it's not like I think squat is, but I'm doing it to a box still. So
yeah, that's good. West side.
My knee nearly just completely destroyed itself yesterday when I was squatting. I was like, oh no, I wasn't feeling good. I definitely overdid it this week. Definitely.
That you should back off with that, because if you ruin that, then you're in trouble.
Yeah.
So.
Did not like that.
But that's dealt with. But what is the plan going forwards with that? She gave you a bunch of exercises to do. She said it wasn't the stuff that you were doing at the moment was causing you a problem.
Yeah. So I'm just going to carry on doing the exercises. I've got an appointment, a physio phone appointment on the 26th. So what's that? 10 days?
10 days.
I was meant to have it on Friday, but they gave me like a 9 till 5. They go, oh, your appointment's going to be 9 till 5 on Friday. And I was like, okay. They like rang me. I'm like working. And they rang me again, working, left me a voicemail. And then they rang Claire, because that was my alternative contact. Like, why it's not like, like an emergency contact. Like, oh, urgently, he needs this physio consultation. He must be trapped. His knee must have.
They book the time, haven't they? That's the problem. They book the time, and then they're backing up with people to see, aren't they? I suppose. Yeah. Now they've got to try and find another slot to put you in.
But if they'd given me an actual time,
if they said like whatever time, 9:30,
I would have not been in a meeting. I would have not been doing, you can't just be like, oh, well, I can't do anything today because these guys might ring me for 30 minutes at some point. It's like, if you're going to schedule people, if you know how many people you can get through in a day, book a fucking time in.
Well, yeah, there's nowhere that you go and the time is, I've got a doctor's appointment today. Oh, what time is it? Between 9 and 5.
Yeah.
So you turn up at 9 in the morning and wait until 5 o'clock. That's not how it works, is it?
No. So then they left me a voicemail. Claire was messaging me going, answer your phone, they're trying to get hold of you. I'm like, I can't, I'm working. And then I rang them back to try and like rearrange or do whatever. And then then you get through to some triage area that contacts the people that are trying to ring you. And I was like, Jesus Christ. And then I was waiting. They said, oh yeah, we'll get someone to contact you straight away. I was like, okay, brilliant. 4 hours later, somebody tries to call me and I'm busy. They're like leaving me a voicemail. Hi, I'm trying to rearrange your appointment. Can you give us a ring back? Yeah, okay.
Great success. Back to the triage.
I don't even want this knee.
Yeah,
so I'll just wait. But I was a bit confused because I thought I'd had physio. I thought I'd been to see the physio, which is what I was saying to the woman. I was like, what is the appointment for? Because they sent me a letter saying we're not doing face-to-face appointments at this time, so your thing is going to be contacted by phone. And I'm like, well, I was in there 2 days ago face-to-face with somebody who was like pulling my knee around and doing all the stuff. And they said, oh yeah, well, they've referred you to us. I was like, great. What for? There's like, well, consultation. I'm like, well, I had a consultation. I don't know. So anyway, but I'll go do whatever they need and see what they say.
They're not going to do much over the phone though, either, are they? What are they going to do?
No.
Ask you some questions.
Does it hurt when I do this?
if I remotely do this,
yeah.
Tell me what you feel.
If I scream at it down the phone, does it hurt?
If I imagine that I'm pushing and pulling your knee around, does it hurt?
So I'm not too sure, but the icing has helped it. It almost just like numbs it for a bit, so it takes the inflammation down. And I did a few bits and pieces, but I pushed it too hard this week because I did like some warble stuff. I did something called the Bergeron test. I don't know if you heard of the Bergeron open test.
I literally just saw it the other day here on something, but I didn't really pay attention to it. Is it like a 50-40-30 something or other, or no?
50-50, 40-40, 30-30, 20-20, 10-10 kind of deal. It's like warbles, double unders, box jumps, toes to bar, chest to bar pull-ups, burpees, power cleans, jerks, and then power snatches, and it's an AMRAP, and so you for 20 minutes, and then if you make it to the end, you start again.
No.
So I got to I couldn't remember. This is how bad it must have been, because I saw it programmed in and I was like, oh, cool. I've never done the Bergeron test. and then I was talking in this little messenger group that we've got, and somebody said, oh, has anyone got the picture of the board from the last time they did it? And Paul was like, yeah. So he sent this picture on, and then my name was on there. And I was like, what? Don't even remember doing it. And I got to 2 power cleans, which is at 65 kilos. So that's, heavy for me. Mm-hmm. So it's 20 power cleans. So you do 20 power cleans, and then the next movement is 20 jerks. So you've got to get up there and then jerk it 20 times. And then it's 10 snatches or something along, or it might be 10 jerks. I can't remember.
What's the weight?
Exactly. 65 kilos.
And you have to snatch 65 as well?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah. You snatch the 65 for 10, and then you do 10 muscle ups, and then you start again. So apparently I did it in December. So that wasn't even that long ago, and I couldn't remember it. And I got to 2 power cleans. Mm-hmm. And this time I thought, right, I just want to beat that time. Beat that result. And I did 20 power cleans in this one. So I did 18 more power cleans, but I
managed to avoid the snatch.
Yeah. Well, I'd have had to have done 20 jerks to get to the snatch. So this time I was like doing these power cleans and I was blowing. Because double unders just went to shit, because I did wall balls first. And I couldn't double under to save my life. And then trying to do chest to bar was just a car crash. I was doing them in like singles, just jumping up there and banging them like bang. And then I was making noises like this on the power cleans.
Jesus.
I was like,
that was bad.
that was really bad. I literally got the 20th one. Like I had to do a double to finish. I had to like do one and then another one. I was like, man, this is gross. But yeah, just as the buzzer went, I literally just got it to rack as the buzzer went.
Sounds pretty grim.
Yeah, it's pretty grim.
Nice target for next time.
Yeah, so I'll see if I can do a couple of jerks next time with 65 kilos. But yeah.
Decent chunk of weight.
Yeah, I don't think I'd be able to snatch that. I think my power snatch is like 60.
Be able to for sure.
Yeah. In the moment, I'll do it on the night. That'd be fine.
Yeah, I'll throw one up there on the day. Race day performance.
Yeah.
That's nout.
So that was
0.
But yeah, but it's the wall balls and the box jumps are a little bit. I think they took their toll on my knee. So I just reminded myself that my knee doesn't work properly.
Yeah,
from doing that. It's a good reminder as I was hobbling around yesterday. It's like, yeah, I definitely overdid that. It was that bad that I wanted to get squats out of the way as soon as I could yesterday, so that I could then make sure I just rested for like 2 days solid, even though my knee was hurting. I was like, no, well, otherwise I'm just going to be putting these off. So I'm going to do them whatever, because that's just how my brain works. Like, I'm going to do them. I'm not going to not do them. So I'll just go and do them now, and then I'll cry about it afterwards.
Yeah. And then you got 2 days to cry.
Yeah.
So 48 hours.
Cry, I did. I felt like I've been hit by a bus when I woke up yesterday.
Yeah, I see that.
Properly.
I'm feeling pretty grim as well, to be fair. I'm not really injured like that, but yesterday I felt like I'd been hit by a bus. And then this morning when I got up, I was like, oh man, I've got to train now. And my legs were still sore today from Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had that moment this morning, and still am not entirely sure if I'm injured or if I slept wrong. Because
it's every day for me. Especially because someone's just like jumped up and down on me in the night.
Because I'll try and sleep on my side, but I think when I sleep, I I shorten one side compared to the other, and then I'll like put my arm under my head and stuff. Yeah. So like when I wake up, it's literally like I'm just paralyzed.
Unfold yourself to get out of bed in the morning.
And I woke up and I was like, my lat is really sore. Like all the little muscles down the side of my lat were really sore, and I was like, I think I've just slept funny, and I'm like, I actually injured. Like, what did I do? What did I do that was lats? And I was like, oh yeah, I did some bullshit pull-up EMOM thing after that Bergeron test, and I was like,
oh god,
oh no, yeah. I don't know if you've ever, probably have done. Have you used bands to do assisted pull-ups?
No. I've used bands to do assisted muscle-ups.
Yeah. So after we'd done the Bergeron test, we did a 10-minute AMRAP of strict ring dips and strict pull-ups. And the instruction was, if you can do 10 strict pull-ups, like unassisted, you should do for this 20 assisted, like on a band, just because it's trying to get more volume in. And I was like, okay, I'd never done an assisted pull-up. So I got the coach over and he said, yeah, stand on the band and just go same tempo up as you do down. So don't like try and go like slingshot yourself sort of thing, if that makes sense. Like try and rebound. It's like you should go just use it to assist you, not to actually do it for you. And they were gross. They were like disgusting. Because at least with a strict pull-up, like if you can't do it, you can't do it. But this is like you can't do it, but something's making you still do it.
You can do it.
Yeah, it's like, I can't do it, but the thing's still moving. So it's like, yeah, it was really, really awful. So when I'm like in a normal class and the instruction is about doing strict pull-ups, I'll do strict pull-ups and it'll just take me longer. Then other people are doing assisted. And I think I've got the raw deal because I'm doing them strict, but it's not. It's like, no, that sucks. Like what you're doing is awful.
The other side now.
Yeah, it's awful.
And what is awful about it though? Just the whole thing, or your grip or your lats, or
yeah, I think everything. Yeah, just didn't like anything about it.
It's horrible.
Yeah,
great success.
Yeah.
Have I done any? I don't think so. I don't think I've ever done it. I've seen people do it and then seen them with the band, like because they either put the band around their
twang themselves in the nuts,
put their foot into it. Yeah, and I've seen people, and on a muscle up as well. I saw someone like get catapulted on a muscle up. That was not
well. The bands that I had were thin ones, so when I stood on them, I stood on like I could stand on them, and they were on the floor. So I wasn't in the air with them.
So it was like just
assisted. Yeah, it was just assisted.
Not sending you.
No. Yeah, it wasn't like a catapult. No.
We did some really cool drills though when I was training at the CrossFit place in Sitges. Did some really cool drills for muscle ups with bands to train the movement of the press out.
Yeah,
like your sort of tricep press out is like a dip, isn't it? Doing that with bands, that was really cool.
Yeah,
and then also one where they set the band up so that you were in the rings, and you could basically lie on the band, and you could use the band to get some inertia basically, and then you could sort of pop yourself up into the muscle up off the band. That was really cool. And then another one with some boxes. So some really good progressions for muscle up. And then the first time I tried to do a proper one, I did one straight away, which is cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm miles off a ring muscle up. Em was doing them because that's her Achilles heel. That's one thing that she always struggles with. She can't do them, and because she's now getting to the stage where she is almost qualifying for like CrossFit Games, but she can't do ring muscle ups. They put them in the European Championships workouts. So the one that's just been this 21.2, the last movement was ring muscle ups and skipping or something like that, double unders and ring muscle ups. So she was doing a similar thing to what you were describing then, but Phil had rigged her up some sort of like baby bouncer thing, like she had a belt, and they were, and then the bands were around the rings and then through the belt, so she could just sort of like practice that popping up. But so many people complained about the European Championships having rings in, because when they signed up on the equipment list, they didn't list that you needed rings. So they then changed the rules to say you could either do ring muscle ups or bar muscle ups. And she could do bar muscle ups like all day. So she's like dodged a bullet again. Yeah.
But what's the difference? Why is a ring muscle up so difficult compared to a bar muscle up? Just because it's a different technique?
I guess so. And I guess the rings move as well. So you're trying to you have to do a lot more stabilizing on the rings, because the bar is solid, isn't it? And you just
Well, I think what I found on the ring was you can swing basically. Like the bit that really made a difference for me on the ring was keeping that sort of long position and then making the hollow. And then when you make that hollow, basically you have to really drive your hips forward and then reverse it. But because it's on a ring and not on a bar, I think you can get a better drive off the hollow, and then the extension, and then it just pops you up. Like I struggled much more to do a bar muscle up when we had it in that TEC, whatever it was, a year ago or 2 years ago.
That was the jumping ones, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I think I could do a bar one. I tried to do it like a normal one, and I could do it, but you're just kind of hanging kind of dead, aren't you? Because nothing else is moving. And then with the ring, I don't know, it was like almost with the ring. But there's also an element of it where you open and close your hands, and that helps you to swing. And I think it's that kind of helps get this momentum, and then you sort of pop up from the hollow. But with the bar, it's probably a lot more strength requirement with the bar, I would guess, but maybe not so much technique. I don't know. I'm no expert at that, as you know. They gave me a load of cool progressions.
Your way up.
Not anymore. Stick my way up.
Yeah.
Get back there.
So yeah. So that's that's what's been going on with my week.
Marvelous.
I've got a little bit of fear of missing out because everybody's doing this competition. I'm like, my knee hurts. yeah,
it's better to not do it.
I was quite pleased when it got to the point where you couldn't register anymore, because then I was like, right, well, that's it.
There's no chance of you getting into it then, is there?
And also the first workout was just an absolute horror show that I'd never want to do again. If anybody paid me, it's absolutely disgusting.
Is this the one we did? I guess it is the one we did last year, isn't it? After I broke my leg. This is the same one.
Same competition, same organisers.
Yeah. So the next one they do is one at the next May, or this one in between? I don't know. Should look for one in between, and then that can be target.
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
Get ready for that.
But I tried because the workout that everyone was doing, because I'd still go in novice category just because of the weights that are required and the movements that they say you'd need. Because if I went into intermediate category, it would mean you have to be able to snatch, like they say, snatch 95 kilos.
Jesus Christ.
Okay. That's intermediate.
Is there any weight category involved in that or no? It's just open weight, isn't it?
Yeah, open weight, yeah. And it's things like if you can do 5 unbroken muscle ups, you can be to help you decide, it's like intermediate, you can do 5 unbroken muscle ups. I was like, no. Yeah. Well, I can actually. I've done it like once or twice, but just on a bar, and it was like 5 ring muscle ups. Well, I can't do any of those. It was like, can you do like 10-meter handstand walks? No. Can you snatch 95 kilos? No. But then it's like the novice is like, instead of toes to bar, it's like hanging knee raises. I'm like, okay, yeah, I can do them. Instead of double unders, it's single unders. I'm like, I tried single unders, just went, nope, can't do singles. Can't do singles.
Back to a single under for sure. But that's a big difference though, isn't it? That's quite a big step to go from novice to intermediate.
Yeah.
Like if you're doing single unders, Well, basically anyone can learn to do single unders in a few weeks.
Yeah, you can relearn how to do that, but you can't learn how to snatch 95 kilos.
Even from scratch, to snatch 95 kilos for someone your weight.
Yeah.
You might never do that. That's crazy.
No. But Matt went for it. He entered in novice. He entered in intermediate because he didn't want to do like the single unders and the hanging knee raises. And I was like 95 kilos snatch. He was like, yeah, I'll do it on the day. He goes, you never know what you can do when you step onto the floor. His max is like 60.
I'll tell you what, for free, Matt, you can't do a 95 kilo snatch.
He goes, I never tried. I mean, he's never tried. So fair play to him.
I mean, the 95 kilo clean is a decent clean, isn't it?
But it'll be like the event will be like 1 rep max. So for this one, they just did, it was the first part was a 1 rep max cluster. So you build up to a 1 rep max in 5 minutes. So a cluster is a clean into a thruster, basically, all one smooth movement. So bar starts on the floor, you power clean it or squat clean it up. And then when you stand up, you just strict press straight overhead. So from the standing up, you just follow that movement all the way through. So there's no like jerking, there's no like dipping under the bar to stand it up. It's like bang and then straight up. And
some of your guys in the gym were doing 120 kilos.
Yeah, which is mad.
That's pretty sick. Well, he's a lump, isn't he? And the other guy, I don't know who the other guy was in the shot as well. He's a tank as well.
Yeah, so Luke and Phil both did a 120, I think, in that. Yeah. Big old boys.
Big old boys. Big old beefers.
Yeah, but it's quite interesting because you get, if you're a strong person, if you're strong at that movement, then you would get a decent score on that. But then, as we saw in that tech when we did it before, there was some, I can't remember what it was now. But there was some barbell one, wasn't it?
And one of the early ones.
And they were just throwing the barbell around like it was nothing.
Yeah.
And then it came to another one where they had to do the jump in muscle ups, and because they've got to shift their own body weight around, they haven't got that strength, so they didn't score very high on that. So that's what I like about those competitions is you might look at it and go, well, yeah, I'm screwed on that because I can do like 60 kilos, but then in the next one you might make up a lot of ground because it's about being fast and having gymnastic stuff. So
because what was that one? The first one was like burpees and then clean and jerk or something, wasn't it?
So it was like ground to overhead. Yeah, it was ground to overhead, and the bar weight got heavier. The reps on the bar went down, but the burpees over the bar stayed the same. So it was 7, and you had to change your own plates, and it was disgusting.
Yeah, I only got to, what did I get to, like 60 or something? Because you beat me in that one, didn't you?
It was gross.
And I think I beat you in the muscle up one.
Yeah.
And then, because we were really close when me and it was like, I was 28 and you were 29.
Something like that, yeah.
It's pretty crazy. I can't remember what the last one was. There was a rowing one, wasn't there? It was like rowing, overhead press.
Yeah, that was the bar muscle up one.
And then there was a double under one, wasn't there? There was a double under one.
Double unders, thrusters,
swings
and snatches. Yeah.
Yeah, and you destroyed me in that one, I think. Oh man. Too many competitions, so I just want to do everything. That's the problem.
Good times.
I'll see if there's another one coming up. Because for conditioning is good, and the problem is like I'm just not really that interested in learning all the Olympic stuff. But let's see when they are. Yeah. We talked about this before, didn't we? We should do one where you haven't got to do Olympic stuff. Where it's like deadlifts and double unders and cool stuff.
Yeah.
Not Olympic lifts. I can't do it.
Well, the session that I did the other day when I did my 5-3-1 deadlift, when I got my 168 for 5, because normally I'll do that and then I'll do 3 sets of 8 at the first weight. But the part B of the class was a pairs workout, and it was a maximum calories on the bike. I can't remember how many minutes it was now. Something like 15 or 20 minutes. I can't quite remember, but you had to do 20 deadlifts at 70% and then 20 burpees over the bar, and you shared the reps. So I would do 10 deadlifts, the partner would do 10 deadlifts, and then I'd do 10 burpees, they'd do 10 burpees, and then you like swap on the bike. So you try and get your calories up on the bike, and then you swap, and then it was like every 4 minutes you had to do the deadlifts. That was it. And man, these deadlifts, I was doing these deadlifts at 117.5. And the instruction was you should be able to go for 10 unbroken on all the sets. And I was like, okay, goddamn.
Let's try.
I thought this is 117.5 for 10. I could do that. I don't know if I'll be able to do it every set. And then, but I did in the end. I did them all unbroken. And at one point I spat everywhere. Third set, my belt came undone, which is just an absolute car crash when you're in the middle of a set and your belt just goes. I was like, and then the belt, I had like a mixed grip on. So the belt was just like flopping around on the bar. And I was like, oh man.
Kill me now.
But that was, that was tough. And I didn't have much time to recover because my partner was really quick on the deadlifts. So I would finish on the bike. I'd be last on the bike. They'd be recovering, ready for their deadlift. And I'd be like, and it'd be like, right, 4 minutes is up. And they'd start doing their 10 deadlifts. I could stop on the bike and I'd be like,
and he's like 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4,
and they're basically done in like 20 seconds. And I'm like, trying to get my belt on, get the chalk on. But yeah, that was a good one. That's pretty sick.
Who did you do it with?
Becky.
Yeah. Shout out to Becky.
She's a beast.
Full send.
Yeah. She didn't let me.
That sounds cool.
She didn't let me stop. But yeah, stuff like that. I like heavy barbell stuff with
That's cool.
Other bits is cool.
Everything opens here from the 19th, I think. So that could be quite cool. So I'm like half and half, whether to go and see the jiu-jitsu guys or go and see the CrossFit guys or just try
do everything.
Be consistent with my own stuff. Probably do that stuff. Makes more sense. Ride my bicycle.
Just try and do everything.
Can't do it, dude. That's the problem. It hasn't worked. Never worked. Never worked.
Tell you what, I'd
focus on something.
I don't know if you can hear. I can still hear this guy strimming. It's been an hour now, and this guy. I'm just worried he's going to be on
his grass with the strimmer.
I don't know how big this guy's garden is. Literally, I live on a persimmon estate. The gardens are not this big. This guy's out there with a strimmer. I don't know what's going on.
Maybe he's trying to cut his lawn with one of those little electric fans.
Yeah, maybe.
Could be.
I keep trying to put. I don't know if you can hear the little pop on this button when I hit it for when it goes mute or not.
I can. Yeah.
Yeah, so that'd be annoying. So I didn't want to keep muting it and turning it back on.
Okay, I haven't heard that as we've been talking, and I haven't heard the strimmer either. So I think you're all right.
That's good.
Depends where he's streaming, isn't it? If you can hear it in front of you because you're facing the door, aren't you? And your microphone is on the reverse. Like your microphone is on the 180.
It's coming through my headphones. That's why I thought I might be able to hear it on the recording.
It's definitely your streamer because I can hear. There's like a pump or something here that is forever whirring, like in the middle of the night as well. It starts up.
Yeah. And another thing, he's making me look bad because I need to mow my lawn, and I don't want to do that. I absolutely detest mowing.
I'll do it now, dude. You got to keep up with the Joneses.
Exactly.
Got to keep it looking like fresh out there. Lawn freshened up. Get the barnet freshened up.
Get the old cat shit spinning around the blades.
Yeah, get out of there. Get out, sending up there in everyone's driveway. Up everybody.
Spray that about. Cats.
That's
crazy.
Pretty sweet. Very good. I don't think I've really got any more news, dude, to be fair. What else have I got news? No, I got Corona for a day.
Yeah, that's cool.
Was pretty rubbish, to be fair. Got a quick test and came up positive, and then they basically got me a PCR for that afternoon. So I was like, okay, that's cool. So they'll get the PCR and then I'll be able to get the result in whatever, an hour. And then like, oh, no, it might be till Sunday. Oh, good one.
Yeah.
So then I was looking like I had to wait inside until Sunday. It's been an awesome weekend. Luckily, I got it on Saturday afternoon and I didn't have it after all. So
do you think the next quick test you'll have, that will pop up and you'll have it again?
No, I'm not 100% that they didn't make a mistake because I did it. And then I was like, I wasn't sure if I put enough of the liquid in the tray. So I thought I'll just wait because it goes up the tray, doesn't it? Those like lateral flow tests, the thing goes up the tray.
Uh-huh.
I thought, I'll just see if it goes up the tray. And it was going up the tray, and the C line control line, which means you don't have it, went pink. And I was like, oh, well, I haven't got it anyway. So I went out, give it to the guy. And then like 20 minutes later, I got the message to say, yeah, you were positive. I was like, good one.
Right.
So I will probably now do the exercise of waiting to actually see what it is before I give it to the guy. Do you know what I mean? Because that's not, if you have to wait 2 days, potentially, like if they have a big backlog when they're doing the PCR, and then I've got to wait in the house for 2 days to find out I didn't have it. Yeah, that's not cool. Because obviously you wait inside anyway, but would rather not wait inside if I haven't got it. Because I felt fine. Obviously you could feel fine and still have it, but I felt fine. Then did a couple of tests at home, and they both come up negative. I was like, oh, come on, man.
Yeah.
These can't all be wrong, surely.
And,
got the PCR and that was negative. So, but at least that's
cool. Have you had a jab? Have you had a vaccination yet?
No, they have sent out the option to register for them. So that's happening. But I think they being the government, have only managed to get through down to like 70 years old or maybe 65. So they're a bit behind to the UK, because the UK is sending on. Have you had yours, man?
No, I've not had an invite or anything. I say an invite, I think they call it an appointment. I was saying that the other way. I sound like I've not been invited. I haven't been invited to the vaccination party.
So I haven't, but I have registered basically on a list to get it.
I keep saying a lot, I'm not too fussed about getting it, but I think it's just because I'm like sat here at home. I don't really go out to do anything apart from like I'll go to CrossFit, and you stay away from people because it's all clean.
I guess it depends what you mean fussed about, doesn't it? What are you fussed about? You're not bothered if you actually get it. Well, from that point of view, I think if you're healthy, there's not a huge risk, is there? Even if you do get it, I think the actual chances of you getting seriously ill from it, if you're healthy and young enough, is pretty low. But the problem is, what the governments are putting in place is that you have to have then this vaccine passport or some sort of proof that you've had it to be able to do anything. Otherwise, then you have to have a negative test. And what we're doing here makes it quite awkward just to get around day to day, because you have to have a negative test on Monday to go to work, and then we have another one on Wednesday. And then for the weekend, you need to go somewhere and get one. And if you get a bit out of sync with that, and you're not, say, back at home to then go and get a test on the Friday, and then you have to get one on Saturday, and there's not time or whatever, then it can be really awkward. Like last weekend, everything was booked up on Saturday, and I couldn't get one until like 11 o'clock. So then basically I couldn't actually leave where I am until 11 o'clock because my area was on lockdown as well. So I couldn't even go out of my town to do anything. So I think then once you've got the vaccine, whether you need it or not, that's all another topic, isn't it? Then you haven't got to worry about any of that. And if you want to fly, whatever, because like next week, they're going to open everything from the 19th. So I think that's Wednesday. Then they're going to open the restaurants, open the bars, open the gyms. But to use any of those things, you either have to have the negative test result or this like green card thing. So.
Yeah. I don't know how Wetherspoons is going to operate, whether that's going to let people in. You're going to have to test before you get to go to Wetherspoons or not, because that's pretty much the only place I want to go.
I think the Wetherspoons guy, I would say the Wetherspoons guy, he's probably like a you decide kind of guy, but it'll be the government, I imagine, is who's going to decide whether you need that or not. Is there nothing in place yet?
No.
With regards to these passports or anything?
No.
Because Mum has had it, hasn't she? And she hasn't got a...
Bear in mind, I haven't really been paying attention, but from what I've seen...
literally just been paying attention now, because I was thinking, when is this going to finish?
And I think you can, from Monday here, you can have people in your house and you don't have to socially distance in with people.
But if you've had a vaccine?
No.
Oh, no.
They've just been like, they're
what's the point? You don't have before then.
They're like, I was looking at it and it was like, just go for it. You don't have to do the 2 meter social distance, but you get to decide on that. They're like, just be careful though. So okay. So we're giving people a bit of choice on that one.
Is it a problem or is it not a problem? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is the problem. This is the problem for me, is that there's so much information
all along. Yeah. Is this dangerous or not?
What are we dealing with here? Like, give me the actual information, and then I can decide. But with information on one side, information on the other side, what's the actual truth of it?
Yeah. But I'll tell you, somebody who did socially distance from me the other day was the lady who should have been on the hot chicken counter in Morrison's. She socially distanced the shit out of me because I was stood there and I wanted some chicken wings, and I was looking around, and when people like on purpose trying not to look at you, they're just avoiding looking at you. This woman could not have done more stuff to her left if she'd have tried. There was nothing. Even when she needed something to her right, she crab walked along.
She's backing up.
She crab walked along, was reaching for it without looking, like she was marking down donuts or something. And I was like, another couple stood next to me in the queue, which wasn't a queue. They didn't socially distance, and now after a while they're just like, yeah, screw this, we're not waiting around. I was like, and then I said to the butcher, I was like, is there somebody around here? And he shouted this woman. And she eventually turned around and made eye contact with me. And I was like, oh, yeah, I just wanted to get a portion of chicken wings. And at this point is when I knew I was in trouble, is that she walked around to serve me. And then she went, hi, what would you like? I was like, yeah, just a portion of those chicken wings. And she went, the barbecue ones. And there's literally one. There was one chicken wing option. And I was like, yes, please.
Yes.
Anything else?
Have the one available chicken option.
Yeah, well, I'd like the last 5 minutes of my life back, actually, if that's possible.
Please, if you don't mind. Yeah. Can you also take me off your pay no mind list? That would be fantastic. Thank you.
They were so dry, those chicken wings.
I can't speak to anybody yet in the supermarket, so I don't have that problem. I just have to
say Danke and Schnitzel.
Yeah, Schnitzel bitte, and then point. Yeah, please. Working on it. Oh, man, that's some slow going. This learning German, man. Wow. I don't remember Spanish being this complicated. I am in trouble.
Get yourself a Helga to force it.
Controversial. Controversial. I'll probably just stick with the lesson. Let's see. It's making progress. I've got the full Duolingo. I'm paid for that bad boy.
Yeah.
Sending it on Duolingo now with my little gems and chests, XP points. Up there in the league, third in the. Can't remember what league is. Some league, Ruby League. Third in Ruby League this week. Yeah. So get promoted to Amethyst League next week.
Well done.
Yes, please.
Gamification. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, I just want to learn it. I don't really get. Come up with all this stuff, man. There's this little bird chest bumping some dude, and then a thing with gems come up, and then another thing with treasure and stuff. I was like, just
get those
show
gems.
Me the goods, man. Yeah, but it's good. It's cool.
Cool.
It's easy. It's super easy to do.
Yeah, I use it for a little bit, just trying to learn some bits and pieces a couple of years ago, and they still email me. I think I must have clicked something to.
Normally they give up
to their
after a bit.
Like but they've started again this morning. They were like, "Can you make it 3 days in a row?" And I was like, I haven't done I haven't done 3 minutes in about 4 years. I don't know what you're talking about. Can you make it 3 days in a row? It's like I've almost forgotten that I started to learn a different language over the last 2 days. No, definitely haven't done that.
Definitely not learning.
And this time next week, hopefully we'll have reverse hypers and garage gym.
Yeah,
Austria's
should be cool. So my next plan for that is go and get some racks as in wooden racks, to store everything away on the left-hand side of the place, and then block off a bit of room for the training kit at the end, organize the bikes, and hopefully slide in some sort of little workstation stroke Red Bull fridge. Other energy drinks are available. Little microwave would be pretty cool. And that will then start to take shape then. That'll be pretty sweet, because there's some racing coming up soon as well. Motocross racing.
Cool.
So that'll be cool. See if I can get fit enough to do that.
Right. I'm going to wrap it up, because it's a mammoth edition, this one. And I've got to post something today. Got to think about what I want to post. Maybe thinking about a giveaway again.
A little giveaway. What are we closing in on? 3,500.
Coming up to 3,500. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit slow motion at the minute. I have to get plowing into that a little bit more. A little strategy rethink. Cool. Yeah. Giveaway. So still, I really like your sweatshirt, dude. What's in my care package? One of those?
Well, no. But there's two hoodies and 3 t-shirts, and that's about the weight limit before they start to sting you.
All right.
Which I've made.
2 hoodies and 3 t-shirts. Cool. Sounds good. One of them bad boys. I'm going to get that on the bike, I think. Just trying to work out how to get it on there. I need someone who's talented at graphic design to do it, which is not me and not you.
Well, if you just want like a gloss sticker in like black.
No, I'm thinking like full wham. We could do that in a little sticker though for the push bike, maybe.
Yeah. I did a sticker for a plyo box. That worked.
Cool. Good. I did.
All right, mate. Have a good one. Don't forget to train week 2.
Yeah, we need a quick Pact thing then, don't we? So yeah, train week 2.
Well, I'm still on the no sugary snacks, and now I've added water in there as well. So I'm doing like 3 liters of water a day.
You're on no sugary snacks and 3 liters of water a day. I am going to do. This is going to be rough. Train in the morning every day, and go to bed before. It's going to have to be to train in the morning every day. It's going to have to be like a 10 o'clocker. Put it out there now.
Yeah, that means you got to get your posts lined up as well. So you're not trying to do posts at like 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah. Okay. Do that.
Right. I've said right about 40 times.
Yeah. That'll trick. Very British.
Go.
All right.
See you later.
See you later. Wait.